Hey, what is up? It is Ross from Spiritual Phoenix Studios, and we are back today with the Judgment card. The nickname that I have for this card is the Self Acceptance card. Reason being is the card can be about awakening, epiphany, inner calling, absolution. It really is like this profound moment of clarity and self reflection that transfers and changes you and shifts you up in a big way. Also, currently we're in that time period right now as well. Give me 1 second and I'll give you the time frame for that card before we move forward. And that is October 21st through November 20th is the time frame associated with that card. So, all of that said, let's keep moving on. The reverse meaning of that is misinterpretation or misreckoning. The other way that I think about this card is like it can be that you're not seeing a situation correctly, but if it comes up in a reading, it can also indicate that the reading is off, that the person needs to come back in like 2 to 3 days and be read again or something of that nature. I've done it before for clients where if they're getting one of my video readings, I'll give them another free reading in a couple of days if the reading seemed off and didn't make sense to them and that card came up. That's just personal preference there, because it can just mean somebody's not seeing something clearly. Excuse me. This card is associated with Pluto, which is renewal and rebirth, spiritual growth and fresh starts. Power hungry and destructive energy is kind of the negative aspects of it, and it can be secretive and instinctual, which can also be somewhat problematic. This card is associated with the element of fire, which is highly motivated. It has strong vitality, strong enthusiasm, adventurous, dynamic. It just has that ability to spread and catch on and ignite and motivate. And you can kind of feel that energy, even though there's not really any fire in the physical card, you can feel that fire energy coming off of everything because it is this waking up and coming back to life. In numerology, 20 represents inclusive diplomacy. Also, if you were to reduce it further, 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 is like balance and harmony. There's a sense of like simplifying things and coming into alignment with the universe when this card comes up in the upright position. In regards to home, it can be like making a major property decision, or returning to an old place that holds happy memories. There can be like this sense of self reflection and reconnection that sparks something, or a new opportunity that sparks this new sense of life to you. In relationships, it can mean moving on to a new phase, kind of like there's this sudden shift in the dynamic for the positive. It can mean revisiting an old relationship in terms of somebody kind of popping back up and coming back into your life, or potentially those romantic feelings surfacing again. Or it could just be like a friend that you haven't talked to in a while coming back into your life and being a part of your life again. And then in career and money, it can indicate that success is coming to you, kind of like breathing new life into your finances or career. And it indicates finances improving. Again, there's a sense of like reawakening, reemergence, rekindling that spark, getting back in the groove of everything. And some self reflection questions on this card are, where do you deserve to forgive yourself? Because part of this card is largely about like self acceptance. And the people that we have the least acceptance from oftentimes is ourselves in big ways. And then what situations led you to where you are? This process can also be called recapitulation, like reflecting back on your past. Doing that is an incredibly intoxicating experience. This might be a little bit over the top. You might want to do a truncated version of this, but writing out like your life experience in a linear story form is like the wildest, trippiest thing you will ever do. I've done it like a couple different times, and I highly recommend it. Even if you do a short version and only focus on like one thing from each year of your life, you will be kind of blown away. And if you can't think of one thing from each year, think of maybe one memory from each 5-year span, or one major thing from each 5-year span. It'll be a very interesting experience if you do that. And then personalize. When have you been at peace with your past? Because the other part of this is like this deep self-acceptance. When have you personally felt that deep level of self-acceptance and been like good with everything? There's been a couple times in my adult life, but for me, a lot of times I think back to the innocence of childhood and those periods. Like, you don't recognize how good it is. And then when have you been able to make a fresh start too? When has life taken on that sense of vibrancy and like excitement for you again? Because there are periodically times when there is this sense of rebirth and things springing back up into your existence. And with all of that said, this is the Judgment card. If you would like to check out, in the description there is a link to the website. It has all of similar information, and you can utilize that in your readings if you want. It also has some journal prompts which may be helpful for you. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.